If you were alive in the second half of 2021, then you've definitely already watched or at least heard about Netflix's new hit show, Squid Game. Now, as good or bad as this show actually was, there are tons of lessons to be learned from a marketing and business perspective. So today, that's what we're going to look at. Welcome back, everyone. I'm Alan Gurriel, and on this channel, we learn everything about booking high-ticket discovery calls and clients. Now, I'll have to double check the exact stats on this, but from what I've heard, Squid Game has broken all types of records in the streaming game, not only for Netflix, but within all streaming players. So let's go ahead and jump right in to 7 marketing lessons we can learn from Squid Game. Now, the first marketing lesson we can learn from Squid Game is about hitting trends and meme ability. Now, what I mean by meme ability is pretty much exactly what it sounds like, which is the ability to make scenes from the show or movie or whatever type of media very accessible, very relatable in a lot of different contexts. For super example, in my Instagram and Facebook feeds for the last month or two, I have seen tons of ads using Squid Game memes to advertise agencies, consulting, coaching, physical products, all types of products and offers. So yes, you don't need scenes and actors and things like that to be memorable and relatable, but it actually can help a lot with word of mouth and with just overall marketing. The next marketing lesson to learn from Squid Game is about shock and awe. Now, there is a ton to be said. Actually, there's a good book called Made to Stick, which I might throw in here, which pretty much boils down to this, which means that our brains have a predictive machine. So when we see anything, we automatically predict what's going to happen next. When something totally different happens, that automatically makes us pay a ton of attention to whatever that may be, whether it be a real life situation or an ad or story or something like that. This plays a role because in the very first episode of Squid Game, there is already violence and surprises. Well, you should probably expect some spoilers here, but I'll go ahead and give the spoiler warning now. Similar to the first episode of Black Mirror or to the beginning of any ad, book, story, or any type of marketing message, the point is that it makes sense to always start with a captivating hook. So we'll leave it at that for now, but just remember that breaking our prediction machines can do very well to get us to pay attention. The next marketing lesson to learn from Squid Game is the fact or the reminder that word of mouth is the best traffic source above all else. So of course, this does not mean that ad campaigns are a bad idea or that content marketing doesn't work or literally anything like that. But what I am saying that the word of mouth traffic channel and referrals, which are kind of indirectly connected or associated, are probably the best traffic channels on earth. And not only because they have viral potential or possibility, but also because they are the most trusted source of traffic. And on top of that, it is essentially free. The next marketing lesson from Squid Game is kind of similar, which is this, that a great story will always beat a big budget. And on top of that, if you aren't familiar with Squid Game already, then you should know that it is a native Korean-made show. So that means anybody who watches generally has to read subtitles or watch the annoying dubbedness of the lips. Anyway, the point is that a good story even trumps a foreign language. But the point here is that your story, your background, your history, your experiences, your goals, your dreams, pretty much anything that's unique about you in comparison to the next competitor or pretty much any is actually what makes you unique and the most relatable. The next lesson to learn from Squid Game is that you just can't predict the winners. Now, I know that there will be some people who will totally disagree with me on this, and to be fair, that's fine, and I kind of agree with you. But speaking of South Korea, think about Gangnam Style, that popular song and YouTube video from about, 10 years ago maybe. Now there's Squid Game, and we don't have enough time to get into the millions of international and domestic examples on hits that suddenly became popular, but you get the point here. The next marketing lesson to learn from Squid Game is to tap into your competition. Now, keep in mind, this does not mean that you should copy what your competition is doing or that you should change what you're doing based on what they're doing necessarily, but this does mean that you should at least be aware of what they are doing. So in this case, this is Netflix making a new show internationally, but still. Now they have to consider, what is Disney doing, HBO Max, Hulu, Peacock, and whoever else is in this game right now. Now, in hindsight, there are always a million different ways to explain things that have already happened. So for example, I would say that Squid Game actually represents a relatively small, well, I don't want to say small audience, but like things that are for kids are usually a hit, things that are for families and stuff like that. But this Squid Game speaks more to an adult audience who wants more about violence, about crucial decisions, blackmailing. Those might not be the exact words I'm looking for, but you get the point here that these are definitely adult themes. And as millennials and even Gen Z move into somewhat of peak consumer and spending years, then obviously these types of ideas and preferences will and should be reflected in our media choices. The next marketing lesson to take from Squid Game is about the idea of releasing a full season all at once. Now, there's been a little bit of streaming wars between Disney and Hulu and HBO and Netflix and all of these people, and sometimes they choose to release the season as a whole. Now, to be fair, there definitely are benefits to doing it the standard drip model where you have to wait for the next episode next week or in a few months, like with Walking Dead, which drives me crazy, or something like that. But on the other hand, I would say there are even more benefits to releasing your entire season all at once. Because if people are even able to talk about the big twist at the end or in the middle or even in the first episodes, that allows or that fosters more word of mouth, more promotion, even if there's some spoilers thrown in there, which obviously aren't preferable. But the point is that if you release your whole season all at once, then people are just naturally going to talk more about it, especially if there are big twists or any dramatic endings or anything like that. And hands down, the most important marketing lesson to take away from Squid Game is to hit the like button and subscribe below. If you learned something interesting today, it does help a lot. If you're a coach or service provider that's looking to book high-ticket discovery calls and clients, then book a free strategy call below to find the biggest opportunities in your business. Well, that wraps us up for today. Thanks everyone for stopping by, and I'll see you on the next one.